Welcome to the Weird Works podcast. I'm Dr. Kristy, your host. Join us for conversations about alternative and sometimes controversial healthcare topics. This podcast will provide the evidence that you need in order to make informed decisions about your health, to empower you with the facts that you need to advocate for your health, and to encourage you that there is hope your body heals. Join us from experts from all things weird, as well as the testimonies of people with stories of radical healing who were once told that perhaps their condition was a death sentence, that they would just need to live with it, or that drugs and invasive surgery were the only answer. Let's get into agreement that if there is something natural and non-invasive that could be helpful, that it could be your first option rather than your last resort. Hi, everybody. We have another awesome episode in our breast health series for October, leading up to our breast awareness health fair coming up on October 29th. And so we're going to give you more information about that and put a link at the show notes for you guys. Today I have Jackie Kent with me, and she's here to tell her own story of breast implant illness. But Jackie is a mom of 3 grown children, and she's been married for 28 years. So kudos for that. That's no small feat whatsoever. And she's always been an advocate of good health and fitness. And so she's a certified personal trainer and an online fitness coach. She enjoys traveling and boating with her family, and she stays very active in her community with tennis and pickleball. So welcome to the show, Jackie.
Thank you, Kristy. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. So we're focusing this year, not just on breast cancer, but on breast health in general, because this topic of breast implant illness has become newly awareness, I would say, of it. And more women are starting to recognize that maybe some of their hidden health conditions are related to their implants. And I would say, it's important for us to bring truth and kind of highlight people's stories, because we have women kind of all over on the spectrum. Like maybe they're considering getting implants and they're hearing some stuff about BII and they're like, whoa, maybe that's not a great idea. We have women who have implants listening, who are starting to put together like some of their chronic illness and maybe things that they haven't gotten awesome medical answers and wondering, curious if their implants could be the cause of it. And then we do have women who are considering explant and have already started that journey and research. And then women who have gone the full journey, like yourself, Jackie, who have done the explant and are feeling amazingly better, like sometimes almost instantaneously. And so I don't think people want to hear it from me. They want to hear from women who have made that decision. It's not a small decision to make, is it?
No, it's scary because you don't know really.
Yeah. Like you're hopeful that this is the solution and the cause of everything and you're going to get a result, but it's like a big change.
It's
emotionally, physically, all of it, right?
I had implants for half my life, 25 years. So it's a big change.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you just kind of tell us your story? Like, how did you find out about BII? What was going on that made you, start researching and going down this journey? What's your story?
Okay. Well, I started off with got my implants after my first child 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were lifetime devices. I thought they were saline, so they have to be safe, right?
Right.
I mean, I had no idea what caused problems it caused. So I'm going to go back 3 years from now and tell you what happened, how I really came up with the whole solution. I had serious rashes and hives. I had them on my armpits, my shoulders, my chest, my forearms. I mean, I was just covered. Even in my legs and my face was covered with hives. I went to allergists, dermatologists, rheumatologists. They just spun me in circles. I mean, they were putting me on prescription antibiotics, steroid creams, and nothing was helping. They had me, I was eliminating things from my diet. I was eliminating my household products and using all natural skincare products and makeups, and it just kept getting worse and worse. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I decided I guess my friend actually brought me to you first about a year ago, and I started talking to you about how to, detox and all that stuff. And then about the same time, another friend of mine said, "Hey, have you ever heard of breast implant illness?" And I was like, "What the heck is that?" Right. I mean, I've never heard of it at all, ever. It never crossed my mind. So, because she had the same symptoms I was having, very similar symptoms, and going through the same kind of thing. So I started researching it, went down the rabbit hole of, oh my gosh, there's stuff all over the internet that I never saw before, which was crazy. So I never thought my implants would be the problem of everything. I was having, now to go back, what happened when I had my implants put in, I never really put two and two together, but I had my timeline after I had put in, I had allergies, nail infections, fatigue, severe fatigue, hair loss, food sensitivities, brain fog, body aches, chronic strep throat that led to tonsillectomy. I was allergic to alcohol, which like, what the heck? Very sensitive to smoke, lots of pain and pressure in my chest. And every time I went to the doctor, like, no, it's just your imagination and nothing's going on. So, I was just blamed it on being older, even though I was still in my 20s. They blamed it on me being a mom of 3 kids and being older, but I couldn't figure out what's going on at that time. It was very strange.
That's a lot though, right? Like that's like full body symptoms. So
Yeah.
what I know from being an alternative medicine doctor is that doesn't bode well in traditional medicine, right? Like if it's not an A plus B equals C thing, typically it's really hard to get answers. And that's unfortunately, like you said, you get poked and prodded and sent all around and, well, let's look at this body part. And then this person looks at that body part. So it's not easy to get an answer, is it?
No, there's no answers at all. No one ever, especially the implants being a problem ever until 6 months ago.
Right. Well, and also I think even when people suspect it, there takes a admission, like if you suspected breast implant illness and you went to the doctor who gave you the implants in the first place, they would have to admit that there's a problem there or a correlation. And I think like a lot of doctors don't yet realize the issues that women are having or don't follow their patients 25 years later.
Right, exactly.
In that 25 years, did you have another set? Like, did you have a first set and then have a replacement set?
I had a new set put in after 7 years just to increase size a little bit. Nothing was wrong with them at all.
Okay.
I assume since, they weren't leaky and there was no capsular contracture, that they were fine, and I would just keep them forever from then on.
Yeah, and exactly. I was going to ask you that. So we had an expert who is on series 1, like episode 1 of the series, Danielle Valores, and she was teaching us the science about what they're made and, if they're a series 1, 2, or 3, depending on what year they were made. And the more recent that you have a set, even though they're more lifelike and realistic and pliable, they're not as hard as the original sets. Those have a higher tendency to leak. Even though women are being told they're safer, they're actually not safer. And she said 100% of these type of implants actually fail.
I believe it. It's crazy.
So it's insane. Okay, so then what was your education? So when you got the implants, like what was the discussion with the doctor? We know that you weren't told that they are not meant to be lifetime devices. Were you taught about how to examine for possible rupture or leakage?
No, I know they mentioned replacement every 10 to 20 years, but it was assumed, I guess, maybe that's my fault, but if with rupture, leakage, or pain. So I assumed that they'd be good forever. There's no problems with them.
Yeah.
No teaching on how to examine them or anything. I had my regular mammograms and breast exams and everything was fine. I thought they were fine.
Yeah. I think a lot of women are under the false impression also, like if they're rupturing or leaking, that they're going to feel some kind of bump or lump or something in the lymph node. Like they're kind of just thinking about just the general localized area of the implant. They're not thinking about your skin or joint aches or brain fog or sleep issues or mood disturbances. They're just thinking it's just going to be a localized reaction, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then did you know now, or have you found out since your explant that they now have a black box warning on them?
Yes. And that is really good news, but I'm just still worried that it's not going to be enough to get women who are young and naive to actually read all the, check off all the boxes and read what can really happen besides just physical appearance.
Well, what was brought to my attention by Danielle Valores in the first interview was that that's on the box that the implants come in. Did you see the box that they came in? You don't go order them or buy them off of a shelf and then get them in a nice, neat package. The doctor is the only one that sees the box.
Exactly. And they're not going to want to tell you to watch out for this because they'll be scared to have the surgery. So
yeah. And so you do have to look it up online, and it is publicized. In the first episode, I did put a link so that you guys can go back and read this black box warning. It is an advancement. It is an improvement for sure, but it's not getting into the hands of women. It's supposed to also go along with a checklist of education. The doctor is supposed to go through the risks and warnings. And so we don't know if that's now being done. Obviously, everybody that I've interviewed had implants prior to the black box warning. So they didn't get the opportunity to get the survey and the questions and to read those warnings.
Yeah, I'm wondering what they have right now, what really goes on now.
Yeah, we don't know. And that's why we're bringing more stories on the show to have like real life scenarios so that you're not just having to kind of, like how many years did you have to research this on your own? We're trying to get fast track people's like education.
Yeah, 25 years of researching this on my own, not knowing I thought I was losing my mind.
Yeah, you do start to think that nobody believes you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was always so healthy up until I had my implants put in. So, and then my health it wasn't like a major change, just slow things happened year after year. So just weird.
Right. It'd be easier, right? Like if you were experiencing optimal health, you had the implants and then you had like an immediate decline of health, like it'd be easier to kind of paint a timeline and know what was the reasoning, but that's not how it goes. It's cumulative and everybody's experience is unique.
Yeah. And I have heard what you said too. People have had them put in just 5 years ago are having the major symptoms show up faster now than they were when I had them put in.
Yeah, because they'll tell you it's saline. The inside is saline, but the external shell of every implant is still silicone. And it's the silicone and the plastics that are leaching out into the body, causing this toxic reaction.
Yeah. And I don't know why I never thought about the outside of the implant before.
Yeah.
Being silicone, it's crazy.
Now, when you had your explant, did they talk about like capsulitis or cysts or any infected tissue surrounding the capsule?
I didn't personally have anything that he saw, but he did remove all the capsules surrounding it though. I insisted on having everything removed. That's where all the toxins stay in the capsules. So it all had to come out.
And that's part of the research that I wanted to make sure that women know too, because if you get to this point where you've done your research, you recognize your health decline is related to your implants and then make the leap of faith to have the surgery. It's a big decision, but it's also important then that you know how to find the doctor for you, because there are doctors, this is really super scary to me, but there are doctors who are removing the implant and then trying to rebuild breast tissue with this diseased tissue that's left behind. And the women are not going to get an improvement of health from that.
Yeah, I had a friend just do that. I won't say her name, but she didn't have any kind of implant issues, but she wanted to just get rid of them. But the doctor kept the capsules in and just rebuilt the tissue to make them a better size for her. So just scary.
Yeah. It is scary. Yeah. And there's doctors, we'll put a list. There's a good link of doctors that are certified in this like safe removal and know how to remove the capsule. And some of the surgeons that are on that list are teaching other doctors how to do it responsibly and not leave the capsule and the diseased tissue behind.
Great.
So you were really fortunate. And I do believe it's because you were otherwise healthy and doing a lot of right things for your health that maybe it took 25 years for the symptoms to start to catch up for you and kind of literally come to the surface because it was on your skin, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And I think that all the good things that you've done for yourself also helped you post-surgery to recover as quickly as possible and help your body like remove some of the toxins as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to mention the doctor that you went to, or we can put their information?
It's Dr. Weiss in Orange Park, Florida. And he was recommended highly from some of my friends who have gone to him. And I just had a great feeling when I sat down and talked to him and talked to his staff. And I was very comfortable with what he believed in it. I would go to a doctor that definitely believes in BII.
Yeah.
He does put implants in too. Some people say don't go to a doctor that puts implants in also, but he does both, but he believes in it. He believes it's possible to happen. So
okay. Yeah, you don't want a doctor that like thinks you're making it up or isn't going to advocate for you and your choices.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you. What would you say to a woman who is going to go through with this explant surgery and then they're going to get another set put in?
I would say just do your research first. I mean, I found a lot of things out by myself on Facebook groups. I joined, actually, if you want to post a link to that too, let me get the exact name of it. It's called, okay, I have to post a link. I can't remember. It's breast implant illness and rejuvenation by Christina, I think it's called. I'll get linked for you. But
Yeah,
I found a lot
most
of information out from her and her group and members in it. They're just people just like me going through the same thing. I just messaged them, they messaged me back and forth, and I saw their posts and the before and afters, and just, you know, talk to people, research what's going on before you do anything too quick, especially replacing the implants. Even my husband thought you can just pop them out and put new ones back in. I'm like, oh no, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah. And you're only going to get the new class of them that are the softer ones that are more dangerous and have 100% failure rate.
Exactly.
Daniel Valores had said that like they really like within 5 to 7 years, you really need to have a specialized MRI, which most facilities don't do. There's like one doctor who's now teaching this specialized MRI that can see behind it to see if there's granulomas and capsulitis starting. And he's like, and if you see that, they absolutely are leaking and you have to have them taken out.
Oh, wow.
That's like 5 to 7 years. So maybe we'll see in our lifetime that if women are going to continue to have these, that at least that they're told they're only a 5 to 7 year lifespan, and you need to have special imaging, not traditional MRI or mammograms to visualize it.
One more thing too, if I was warned ahead of time about my mammogram, how painful it would be with implants, I probably could change my mind too. They have to double the images in different ways. It's like very uncomfortable. So with implants in.
Right. And a lot of breast health experts will tell you, like, you can't visualize all of the tissue to rule out cancers and other breast diseases if you have implants. So. Hi everyone, this is Dr. Kristy Harvell. In honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we are hosting a very special event. If you are local to the Jacksonville, Florida or surrounding area, we encourage you to grab a girlfriend and join us for our 6th annual Breast Cancer Awareness Health Fair right at our Wellness Center, Health by Design. The first 40 people to register will get a swag bag full of samples and freebies. And we'll start the event out at 10 o'clock with my personal story, as well as some life-saving information that I feel all women should hear. And that will be followed by a full-on vendor event. Some of the highlights that you can expect include thermography, free health screenings, muscle testing demonstrations, toxin-free skincare, and so much more. Please join us for an educational, fun, and life-changing event on October 29th from 10 to 2 o'clock at our Health by Design Wellness Center on Southside Boulevard. You can register on our website at healthbydesignfl.com, or you can go to the Health by Design FL Facebook page. I can't wait to see you and your friends and family members there. Okay, so then did you do work? I know the answer to this, but I'm asking you so that you can say it. We helped her with some of this ourselves, but what other work did you do as far as reduction of mold or toxins before, during, or after surgery?
Before surgery, well, I tried to do a detox before surgery and it kind of backfired, and it was trying to detox my implants. So it put my body into full blown rashes. So I definitely recommend if someone's going through this, to get the implants out first and then wait 4 to 6 weeks in detox. So I went through you, of course, and used your vitamins and supplements. And I did infrared saunas. I did dry brushing. I actually got rid of gluten and lactose out of my diet completely for about 2 months. And that helped a lot too. Just ate really clean, natural, exercised, slept, I just did the things to stay healthy.
All the things you need to do, to support natural detox in the body.
Yes.
That's the other thing I would say, as somebody who works on detoxing patients for various reasons, is that it's not enough to just have the tissue removed and have the implants in the capsule removed, because this is systemic. By the time you're recognizing a body-wide, decline of health and all these various symptoms, those toxins are all over. And what we know is that, silicone and all the other, what silicone breaks down to, they cause body-wide inflammation. They're linked to hormone imbalances. They're a form of plastic, so they're endocrine disruptors. And those can also mimic estrogen, which can be linked to cancer. So we actually need to get Danielle Valores back on here, because at the end of like over an hour and a half interview with her, because we could just riff all day long, it was like, oh my gosh, we didn't even talk about the links to cancer. And so I'm sure nobody said that to you. If doctors told women that silicone is linked to cancer and to kind of do their research, that would probably deter a lot of women from getting implants in the first place also, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
That and painful mammograms.
Yes. Yes.
I have a feeling neither are on the checklist that go with the black box warning either.
No, I don't think so either.
But that's why we're bringing you real life experiences, because these are the things that you need to be prepared for to make an educated decision. Okay, so how long did it take you after surgery to start feeling better and seeing a resolution of all those symptoms?
Well, actually 1 week out, I had my energy levels back. My skin was clear. My brain fog almost all went away after the first week. And then it took about, up and down. I had waves up and down with my rashes. And at the 4-month mark, which was 2 months ago, my rashes totally disappeared. And they may come back. They may be, I heard they do come back. It takes I heard it takes 1 month for every year you had implants. So it could take 2 years.
Yeah.
But so far I'm 2 months totally rash free, and it's like amazing. It's the best
really
thing.
good.
Yeah.
Well, and all the other things you're doing are helping facilitate that. So, when you say 1 month for every year, it's also that like,
sure.
That's if you're just not doing anything and
Yeah,
letting time heal. Yeah, that's incredible. 1 week out after like 25 years of like all this stuff going on. Some women are even reporting that literally like post-op, they're not even out of the recovery room, and they wake up and like they're like pain gone, brain fog gone. Like they can just tell immediately that they feel better. It's
yeah, I took a picture of myself. Like I was still, worn out laying on the sofa. My picture, my eyes looked like white again. My face looked like it was just the rashes instantly went away within 24 hours too. It's crazy on my face.
It's great. And so I just want to say, this is the audio version of the podcast. If you're listening on a podcast platform, if you want to see Jackie's before and after pictures and the rashes, because I think that's real life for women too, to be like, oh, that does look like something that I feel.
It is scary.
It is scary. We'll put the link under the show notes also for the YouTube version, where you can see the video, which will include the graphics and the photos that Jackie's, thank you also for being vulnerable and willing to put that out there and share it.
I'm happy to help people out, and that's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I can help one person, what to do next or not get implants. I'm here.
Yeah, I hear you. No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the decision making. Like, do you want to just talk about, I know this is another vulnerability point, but like it is an emotional decision, like women make a decision to get them for body conscious reasons. You're in the fitness industry, of course, and you have an online business and people see you and you're modeling your body. So how hard is it then to be like worried about what you're going to look like or body image after removing that?
It's very scary. I mean, that's why I went back and forth on it forever. I'm like, do I really want to take this risk and get my implants removed and then have, flat chest and saggy, and who knows what's going to happen to me after that. And it's just scary not knowing. But at that point, my symptoms were so bad, my rashes were so bad, I didn't have a choice. I did everything else possible. And that's my last thing to turn to, was take the implants out.
Right, exactly.
My health is worth more than my looks at that point.
Yeah, and I think that's important. And sometimes I think you don't realize that until after. So I thought like it would be encouraging for women to see you're still beautiful. She's still an image of health and fitness. She's glowing. There's other things that make you beautiful, like your personality and your gifts and your talents. And, there's other ways that you can shine, right?
I totally agree. Yes.
Yeah.
If I could just do over what I did when I was 25 years old.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a part of it too, right? Like you're settled and you have a husband and you have a lot more confidence and experience than when you made the decision at 25 to get him put in. So you're not, you're probably more ready to confront that now than the younger version of yourself was.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree too. And I'm not pro plastic surgery or really against plastic surgery, but there are so many options now out there. I wanted to mention there's fat transfer, there's which, still there's risk with surgery, but there's a lift and fat transfer that's also an option for people who want something to better their appearance without having to put a foreign object in their body.
Exactly. I was going to ask you about that, like reconstruction. There's other things.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I didn't do any of that. I didn't have enough fat to transfer and I didn't have enough lift to lift. So
I know.
It is what it is. I'm okay.
You might have to borrow fat from a friend. I don't know if they could do that.
No.
Somebody from somewhere could probably do anything.
I'm trying to get fat donated, but no, that won't work.
No. So you kind of already answered my question. Like, what would you say to women who are considering getting implants or who haven't yet figured out their ongoing health issues? You said kind of just do your research. Were there some resources that were super helpful to you? You mentioned the Facebook group. Was there any other things that you came across that were like helped you form an opinion?
Well, I would find a doctor like you, a natural doctor that's going to help walk you through that you can meet with once every week or two. And otherwise you're just kind of left on your own. That traditional doctor is not going to put you the right path. They're going to give you all kinds of drugs and things that aren't natural. I just recommend finding someone that's a naturopath doctor, a functional medicine doctor that's going to walk you through step by step how to detox afterwards.
Yeah, absolutely. Because we did have bumps in the roads and ups and downs, and we had to make the decision to slow things down and increase drainage and facilitate the body's open channels and pathways to facilitate that, and then finish the thing, finish the process once the surgery was done. Some women can't even do the surgery. There's some women that are so sick that by doing the surgery will put them into a healing crisis. And so some women have to just clean things up and improve their health and their diet and the overall inflammation scenario in their body before they can even fathom surgery too. So every case is unique and different.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think you do need an expert. I think it's smart. It's dangerous. I mean, you're detoxing major chemicals, and these chemicals also attract bugs. So like you might not just be detoxing silicone, you might be detoxing parasites, yeast, fungus, mold, bacteria. It just sets up an environment where other things can grow and settle in the body. So people that buy online detox kits and try to DIY it, a lot of times they end up coming to us anyway because they're detoxing way too fast and they're having a healing crisis and they're even more miserable. So if that is you, I would just say, call us. We can find somebody in your area. We can work with you virtually. There's things that can be done even just to have a little bit of guidance. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes. Totally
Any other resources that were helpful for you?
I would just say Facebook. I found the name of that group. The Facebook groups I think are just very, I mean, there's so many great ones out there too. And the one that I recommend highly is called Breast Implant Illness, Rejuvenation and Education with Christina. So I'll send you.
Yeah, send me the link.
Yeah. And just find people who have similar situation as you, message them, and people are happy to help out. I mean, if they've gone through it, they're happy to help someone else get through it too. So
it's totally true.
Yeah.
Well, and you said in your bio, like in the very beginning, I can't tell you how many times I hear this over and over. Like when I say, like, how did you find out about BII? How did you start to put the pieces together and paint the picture? And I literally wrote like heard from a friend, like, or a friend and another friend and another friend. Like sometimes you're in disbelief and you're like, is anybody else like heard of this? Am I the only one? Are we the only two? Are we the only three? So, community.
So many people, once you get into a Facebook community, you're be shocked how many people are out there that have the same kind of situation as you, people going through this as well.
Absolutely. And I know in my community of natural healers, like me and other practitioners are seeing it on repeat. Everybody that I know, all my colleagues have at least a handful of patients who have had explant. At least.
Yeah. And when I'm going to my normal doctors now, like OBGYN or primary care physician, I'm kind of educating them now. I'm like, this is what happened. Look for this. And they kind of didn't know either. They never heard of it either, which is shocking. I mean, a doctor hasn't heard of a breast implant illness.
Right.
So
exactly.
educate everybody.
I agree with you. So we have the pictures. We'll share all of the links. And then Jackie, do you want to talk a little bit about your business and how you help women be fit and healthy?
Sure. I'm a personal trainer, but I worked at a gym for a year and it was just the hours. Like my kids were young at the time and the hours were crazy. And people actually didn't have the money to spend at a gym. They'd rather work out at home with their time constraints and money constraints. So I started working from home, teaching people, healthy nutrition, healthy fitness, and giving them a program to work on. And I'm here to support them along the way and motivate them, give them recipes and all that fun stuff. So I'm doing 8 years and I'm still doing it.
Well, and it's really neat because how has your journey helped your business or helped you to help people in a different way now?
Oh gosh, it's just, I just think about more of the natural approaches now to everything now. I mean, there's no quick fix with medicine. It's just a natural approach, and there's a solution for everything the natural way.
Exactly.
And eating has a huge difference in it too, what you eat, what you put in your body.
Absolutely.
Food is healing.
It should be. We say that quote, food could be your biggest, like your best healer or your worst enemy or your biggest toxin or poison. So it's like that is what you're made of. What you eat is literally the quality of your cells and your ability to heal and get well. Yeah. Well, not that you did it on purpose and put your body through all of that to be able to help, but I do believe everybody's journey, your struggles can be your biggest testimony, and using your story to help others is like probably the closest form of why God put us on this earth, right?
Yes.
You're like living, breathing, walking testimonial. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you again sharing your story. Any last things you want to share?
I did want to mention one thing. When I thought I was going to meet you in person today, I have my old implants. I wanted the doctor to get them back to me, so I actually have them. So I put them in my car and I picked them up, and they actually have leaked since I took them removed. I weighed them. They were 5 pounds when I had them removed, and I weighed them today. They're like 2 pounds.
Do you want to hold them up? Do you have them right there?
I do.
Wait, I'm gonna take a selfie with you with them.
But they actually leaked inside the bags. It's so weird.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And Danielle Valores talked about that. The study that they do for safety, I don't know, it's some kind of like animal fluid that they put them in, and they only put them in there for like, I don't know. I don't even know if it's for a week. And then they say if they didn't leak, they're safe, but it's not a real life environment. Have you heard that?
Yeah, I heard her interview, part of that interview this morning. I was listening to it. Yeah. Okay, so here's one. If you can tell it leaked a little bit, this should be full of saline. And look at the other one. Look at that one. Yeah, the picture I sent you this morning of after my surgery, they were full. And I don't know how they would have leaked in a bag in my cabinet, just sitting there. It makes me wonder, like, things happen for a reason. I think I got them out right in time.
Oh my goodness, that is quite a visual.
Yeah.
That's a visual. It's probably because of heat, like if they were in
they're in my house though, in a cabinet. In my body, you mean?
No, I meant in the car.
No, oh no, I had them in the car just for 10 seconds. Oh. I would put them in there real quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So if women, you're only listening to this, go back and listen to session 1, because obviously I'm not quoting Danielle accurately as far as time and, safety and all the data, but like they are deemed safe, not in a real life environment. And so that's how they're allowed to like put them out and continue to use them, even though, and now that there's the black box warning, they haven't changed the consistency of the implants or gone back to the harder version because women don't want those. They're not lifelike.
Yeah, exactly. But even if they do get salien's not just saline, it's made of silicone. So
yeah, the outside shell is always silicone. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you. That was super informative. I think that you are going to help more than one woman, so it was worth it for sure. And you guys want more information, stay tuned for the series. There's going to be at least 4 interviews. And then if you would like to, if you're in the Jacksonville area and you want to learn more just about preventative breast health, our health fair is here at I can't talk. It's here at Health by Design on October 29th. It's the Saturday of October, Halloween weekend, and it's from 10 to 2. So at 10 o'clock when we open, I'm going to do maybe an hour presentation on just general breast health. So it doesn't matter if you have cancer or you're at a risk for cancer or you have implants or not. It's for all women. This is information across the board that is so critical for women to get. So we'll talk about that from 10 to 11. And then we have a vendor style health fair with all different breast health experts. The thermography company will be here. They're going to be providing information, but then from I think 2:30 to 6 after the health fair, they're actually doing thermography scans. We've got CBD, our standard process reps, people that do beauty that is healthy so that you're not putting these phthalates and toxins and carcinogens on your body and absorbing it into the skin. Just all sorts of goodies that we've compiled for women. We do this every year. It's our 6th or 7th annual breast health fair. So we encourage, if you're in the Jacksonville area, to come and see us on October 29th. And thank you again, Jackie.
Thank you, Kristy.
You're so welcome. Your health and how you feel on a daily basis directly impact your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. We will help you reprogram your way of thinking and be on a plan that works for your body instead of against it. It is time to rewrite the false belief that health abnormalities are normal and that it just is what it is. You do not have to live with feeling less than 100%.
We invite you to take a serious look at how you feel on a day-to-day basis. Is what you're doing working? Do you want to learn how to live a more holistic life that's still enjoyable and fun? The 90-10 lifestyle can be the bridge from subpar results to the vibrant and abundant lifestyle that you've been looking for. So click the link by this video so you can get started today. We truly, truly know that this program can change your life. We'll see you on the inside.